Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another show on Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another pre-game show on Chelsea Perspective. Hopefully, by the time the game ends, we will hold our heads high again and hope for a fresh, a restart that will again favor us all through. It's going to be a difficult one, but I believe we're capable of again winning a few games. That's by the way we get into the show immediately. Let's see who we'll have in the chat already. I'm not sure. I'm sure the lineup is out right now, but probably haven't reflected on the app that I'm using. We have again Liam Lane as usual, the first to arrive. This is blue afternoon, evening, Kachila panel and chat again. Blue afternoon to you too. I hope you're doing well. Luis Garcia, I haven't seen you like a million years, and I'd be surprised if I see you if you said anything different than no more five defenders in the back at Chelsea. Yeah, that's your signature, if you ask me. That's by the way we move on. Here we have afternoon. It says again. I'm not sure. It says afternoon. BS. What's it saying? Just one second here. I have to invite someone. It says BS again at old Havertz Kai. I don't know. Hopefully Chelsea turn up. I hope they turn up. I hope we see a fresh restart here. I hope we get a win. You know, again, favorable restart maybe that's the better way to fresh it. I really want to see us win this one. We've suffered too much, if you ask me. What else do we have here? Liam Lane saying, please like and subscribe when you enter if you haven't, as it helps the channel grow and reach a wider audience. Yes, please. The likes are very, very important. The likes help us reach more people. So please, again, if you haven't, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That will take us a long way. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's see again. Again, I knew there was no stop in Thiago. There was no stop in Thiago playing. Oh, okay. It looks like you've seen the lineup already. Lemlin here is just a private message saying, okay, kickoff Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Chelsea need to close in 9 points. Okay. Oh, okay. You have the lineup embedded there. Yeah, thank you so much. It will soon reflect on the screen. I sent you the squad, Pachil. Okay, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. I'm seeing it. This says Arisa Balag. Okay, this is you listing the lineup. I just wanted to show what the app I'm using so to make the discussion easy here. It's still showing the probable lineup, but I'll get to it in a bit. Let's see what we have. Just one second. Again, let me see if it reflects now. Probably a few minutes more. Again, it says Kepa, Arisa Balag, James Koulibaly, Silva. Yeah, I'm surprised Silva is starting. Then who's that? Probably it just looks like it's going to be a back three from what we're seeing here. But again, let it reflect on the screen. Let's see what happens. Starling starts like we thought. Zakaria surprisingly. Again, I didn't expect him to start for Starling. Also, I expected him to start. I'm surprised Mount isn't starting. So that one surprised me. It's all good. Says hi. I love your name. Really, I'm being honest. I do love your name. Again, very optimistic. Let me see. Can Will James start? Uh, what's the list I looked at? Let me see. Have that James? Yeah, James is starting according to lineup here shown by me. That Liam Lane shared with me, and the one that you can see on the screen. James is starting. Zakaria surprisingly is starting. Maybe Zakaria probably because of his physicality, maybe didn't want to risk too much because Kovacic isn't playing, and who else isn't playing? According to this list, Kovacic isn't playing. We knew he wasn't going to play because he's still on break. Um, Not even okay. Jorginho is playing, yeah, because Kovacic will not isn't playing. Kante isn't playing, so we need some measure of again a protection, an acceptable protection. Maybe that will come from Zakaria. Let's see how he's deployed. Okay, the lineup is out. I'm going to start looking at the screen right now. Will James started, like you see, he's starting. Glad Zakaria is starting. Let's see the placement of 4-2-3-1, which was the lineup I suspected with this four. So why isn't Chalobah playing? That's surprising. Maybe he's injured. So it is a flat back four of Koulibaly and Silva centrally, Cucurella left back, James right back, Kepa Arrizabalaga starting as we expected. We knew if Kepa, if his feet, nothing stops him from starting. The 2 6s, Zakaria and Jorginho. The three behind the lone striker there is Mount as the number 10 position, Pulisic on the right, Sterling on the left, and Havertz playing as a number 9 man. I think it's a fluid approach. It's not like Havertz will be playing like a traditional 9. It's a fluid approach. If you look at the guys we have there. But again, let me look at the lineup we picked yesterday. I think it doesn't differ that much, but I'm surprised why Chalobah isn't on the pitch. I looked at this again. I said, there's no way, what's his name? There's no way Mount isn't going to start this game. And we talked about it at length, and it's happening now. It turns out Aubameyang drops to the bench while Mount starts as the 10, Havertz starting as a number 9 man. To me, I think he's going for fluidity there rather than having a traditional number 9, which is where he is like for like with Thomas Tuchel, and again also deploying wingers in the wing back position. So not really that surprised, yeah. And I think this is really the structure. I'm gonna come back straight to the panel and say Merry Christmas to my brother. Once he answers, I'll catch up with what we have in the chat. And again, I'm wishing you in advance, again, belated Christmas, really. But our prosperous New Year in advance. How are you doing, Rodrigo? I hope
you're Merry Christmas to you too, and Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat.
Yeah. I hope you all had a very, very, a very, very good Christmas. So I'm going to catch up with the chat quickly. It says again, Chelsea Perspective, big up coach and everyone. How is the atmosphere while you're at Stamford Bridge? Excuse me for the cough. I'll be coughing a lot because I haven't recovered fully. Yeah, I know you know fully well that I'm not at Stamford Bridge. Big up, coach. Beck and Liam, again, you're all good. I hope you're good, brother. Whenever you get the chance, share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. This lineup looks dead. Yeah, it's crazy, really. But you'll see how long Fofana is injured. I think he'll be out until around February. I'm not sure, but a month at least. Is Mount not injured? No, he's recovered. He started training a few days ago, and I suspected he was going to start. Bench Bettinelli. Okay, I have that on my screen. I'll look at it in the beat. This says again, doing a watch along to letter holla guys. Okay, I'll be doing a watch along. Also, Chalobah has been injured, so I probably didn't want to start him. Okay, or maybe didn't want to risk him to aggravate that. So it makes sense now. Is James healthy for real or just fit? No, I think he's been fit for a while now. He's trained with the team for a while. Good thing he didn't go to the World Cup. Remember, he wanted to go to the World Cup. So if he wanted to go to the World Cup, which means by now he'd be ready, really. Chalo is on the bench. Then maybe it doesn't just want to risk it. Let's see. Anything else? James might play 60 minutes at the sub-off won't be 100%. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to come back straight to the panel. Rodrigo, what do you think about the lineup? Would you have done anything differently? To me, I think probably injuries have forced him to do what we're looking at right now. But go ahead.
No, I'm happy with the lineup, actually. I don't see... Yeah, I don't... Apart from maybe... Obviously, now I've just heard that Chalobah is coming back from fitness. Apart from Chalobah, I think that's a really good lineup. I would have... Look at Pulisic. He's had a very good World Cup. He has to start. Obviously, the only one is Sterling. Then you bench Sterling for Hutchinson. I mean... he's the first game back from the World Cup. Sterling is a senior member of the team, so you can take him off and then put Hutchinson for the last 20 minutes. And then Aubameyang, for me, I don't see much. What Havertz gives you more, at least he gives you pressing. Aubameyang, so far, is just not giving us enough. So I think this is a good lineup. I'm actually... I was begging for a back four, and he's giving us not just a back four, a 4-2-3-1, and I think he's giving us that.
That's what it is, really.
Exactly. So I can see Zakaria, partnering Jorginho. I think it's a good lineup. He's really good. He's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just quickly, if we're looking at this, does this look like again an approach that will allow a hybrid, a structure change, like from back to except maybe if Koulibaly goes to the left,
Yeah, that's what I
because
was thinking. Yes.
yeah, he's capable of playing the left center back position. Then for attacking, Koulibaly can go to the left. Silva stays centrally, while Rich James. But it depends where majority of, again, the flow of the attack is going from. If it's going from the left, Koulibaly goes to the left at the left center back. Silva stays centrally, while James drops it if need be as a right center half there.
Most likely
So
it'll be Cucurella dropping and then James being pushed very high.
yeah, it doesn't really look like it's capable of transitioning into a back three.
I think it's good. I don't know. I was tired of this three at the back.
Hey, Rodrigo, come on, you know it's a back three, yeah? You know Sterling is playing wing back. Come on, brother. I've been away for a bit. You don't want me to come back and remind you that Sterling's going to play wing back with Reece James.
The Claire, please don't read my my.
Oh,
I could actually see
that
it.
actually looks like
He's
no,
a back
I don't
three.
think so. Declan, can you explain that?
Well, something that Potter likes to do.
I'm big
right?
up. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas, bro. I hope you're doing well.
Merry Christmas. It's been a while. I hope everyone had a good holidays, and he's having still a good holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Christmas is a time of giving, and I hope we're going to get our Christmas gift tonight. Possibly.
I get it. Go ahead, Declan.
So this is something that Potter has done, and with Zachariah in there, right? I think he might do it again. He likes playing Cucurella in the left wing back role, which is half versatile, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's Koulibaly, Silva, Cucurella, Sterling out left. He liked that. He gives him a unique wing back role. Reece James is the other wing back role. Mount is the guy that he likes dropping deep and running. Jorginho and Zachariah holding deep. So it's Zachariah, Mount, and then Pulisic is in the half space with Havertz. And it should be actually with Mount. So it's Mount, Havertz, Pulisic, Sterling out wider, Reece James, two wing backs, them in the middle like that.
So for the back four here, do you think Silva is on the left? I think Silva is probably most likely on the right hand side.
I don't think there is a.
That doesn't matter.
Okay,
left, right. As long as Cucurella is left centre back.
/ left wing. Oh no, because Sterling.
No, Sterling's the left wing back.
No, I'm saying when it's a three, once you see if we're attacking from the left, then in transition, that's Cucurella will be in the wing back position, further higher actually. While Sterling drifts in for the half spaces.
Well, it's
him. Go ahead with what you're explaining.
It's him and Sterling. He did it before.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out because Sterling wasn't playing well. But the idea for him that he did at Brighton, whatever, is that Sterling becomes a pure winger. Sterling's his role wouldn't be to come back. He'll be playing a wing back role, but mainly just to stretch the play. So essentially, Sterling will be playing as a winger, right? And Cucurella will be filling up the gap in between, and then he can go up and whatnot. Cucurella can go up still, but that's why there's a switchy role, and I think he's going to play that same role on the other side with Reece James and Pulisic.
Yeah, it looks like it, but it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, and Mount fills in everywhere else. Mount's going to do a lot of running, and I think Havertz too. But
yeah, that's what he values him for, if you ask me.
So Potter's done that before. Potter hasn't played 4-2-3-1, right? This does look good on paper.
Against Wolves. Against Wolves.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
against Wolves. Yep.
Yeah. So Potter needs to do something.
We had, I think we had Gallagher on the pitch too. Plus the 2-6 was different.
Basically, Pulisic was playing where Sterling is, and then Gallagher was playing where Pulisic is. It was right. It was Sterling, Mount, Gallagher, and Havertz. And then in the middle, it was Jorginho lost his cheek. And then he had the back four on that day. But
and it was delicious to watch, really.
Yeah.
But it was a hybrid. It wasn't back four permanently. It changes from 3 to 4. And we had that day, it was easy to explain because Chalobah was on the right. I think who was on the left? I think it was Koulibaly on the left and the two center halves. So again, when we're attacking, it was easy to transition to a back three. But go ahead with what you were explaining,
Yeah, yeah. I was just
Declan.
going to add that I'm not surprised if he sticks to something a bit more simple.
Mhm.
He's tried the stuff we've mentioned, and it hasn't kind of exactly worked out. And I think at least the next 3 games is crucial. The
Yeah,
next couple games, they're going to come quick, and if
and they win, and
yeah,
they are.
they're winnable. Yeah, is that what you're going to say? You cut out, Roger.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
all not
yeah.
winnable. I think the only one winnable on paper is for me is the one against Nottingham Forest.
And this
Yeah,
one,
and this game.
Yeah, this game, even
Yeah,
this that with the one against today is even actually it's tricky because these guys are physical, and we still have the same crop of players who seem to struggle against guys that are tricky. Even against Nottingham Forest, correct me if I'm wrong, they play high octane football, and we still have players that struggle when oppositions play pass again play in a quick manner. But go ahead if you're still talking, Declan.
yeah. I was just gonna say the importance of the next few games to get a result
Mm-hmm.
for Potter, not for us or anyone else really. Um, for Potter, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if as soon as we lose this game and maybe if they lose the next game, all everything that we left before the World Cup is gonna come back
yes,
quickly, and then from there it's gonna multiply every loss after that. So I think that Potter's mentality, maybe he's practiced and maybe he's going to keep it a bit more simple. But when
mhm.
you look at this lineup, when I think he's only played Zachariah once, yeah,
Only
Twice,
once.
once,
yeah.
yeah.
It, already just with the players, like Zachariah, Jorginho, Koulibaly, and Silva aren't moving, yeah, and we're playing Bournemouth, yeah. How many players do you want to keep behind the ball? Like those 4 players aren't leaving, right?
Declan
No,
is
no, no,
not
it's
nice.
all right. I'm just saying
But
that those four
I get your
players.
argument. Go ahead. It makes sense.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So how many players go up? Do you, so there's 10 on the field. The keeper doesn't move, right? Those 4 players aren't really going anywhere. Those 4 players are
So
defensive
we're
sitting players.
gonna have to push
So
it, pull it sick.
yeah, so they're going to sit around, the halfway and where you see them now, where you lined them up, right? That's where you're
Mm-hmm.
going to see them. Now you can leave them all there stationary. Now you have to move the other people, right? And where they're going to move. Like how many do you commit? If only those 4 players stayed, and 6 of those players, like Cucurella, deep up, Reece James, deep up.
Mm-hmm.
You can say Mount, a bit of a freedom in the middle. Sterling, Pulisic in the half spaces, and Havertz more, more of a little focal point. If that's what you like, if that's what Potter's going to go for, right? Then that sounds about right against Bournemouth. We need the goals. We're going to be the team with the ball. Those 6 players are going to be deep in the half and in the third of the pitch. Now, if he's worried, then one of those players or 2 of those players aren't going to do what I just said. They're going to stay back. And when you watch the game that's going to start soon, watch all the players and how far they get to move up and where they don't. And if they don't, and you can see only 4, maybe 5 players go up, or not even four or less, right? You're going to see that Potter started this game with a pragmatic approach, not
Mm-hmm.
to concede and kind of work from there. So
Yeah.
you will
Just
get an
quickly.
indication of his mentality and
Mm-hmm.
see. Look, I'll tell you, I got a degree in emotional intelligence now, so now I know what Potter's thinking.
And Declan, just quickly looking at what we have. Would you have done anything differently if you were Potter? We have on the
Um,
bench. We have Omari Hutchinson, Aubameyang, Connie Chukwuemeka, Conor Gallagher, Lewis Hall, Bashir Humphreys. At this player, I don't know, probably from the youth. Cesar Spliqueta, Trevor Chalobah. Chalobah, again, we're hearing it's a fitness issue. Marcus Bettinelli is, again, forget about Marcus Bettinelli, but would you have done anything differently, even in terms of
yeah,
structure?
just one, I think. Aubameyang. I'm not sure on his fitness or what he's been doing, so I'm assuming that he's got good rest. He's fit to play.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the World
Um,
Cup.
sorry, Rodriguez, you broke up.
He didn't go to the World Cup either.
Yeah, he didn't go to World Cup, so maybe there is lacking that tough competition since Germany bailed out early. So Havertz got a good mixture of good match time and rest, and probably that makes him prime. For me, if their fitness levels were the same, him and Havertz, I'd want Aubameyang just because this is the type of the game where, I mean, that one chance, even if Aubameyang doesn't do nothing, that one chance drops for him and that's it. That's what we need. These are the type of games where we miss so many chances.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Declan. Chances are these guys will defend deep, and to beat a side that defends deep, I think fluidity will do more for us. And do you think we'll still get fluidity if we have Aubameyang on the pitch?
We don't need fluidity. You just said it. If they're defending deep, I'd prefer Aubameyang to be around, the attacking or the box rather than Havertz. Havertz will get the chances. He'll put the pressure on. He'll do more running. But that's ideal for a better team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Bournemouth, I don't know. They've attacked us. They're a bit of our bogey team too. I think they're not going to sit that deep. But if they do, I still want Aubameyang. I mean, for a better team, what you just said is correct. For a better team, I'd want Havertz press. I want Havertz to make the defenders work. He will make them tired. He's versatile. He run. He can get some touches. He may play. Yeah, well, Aubameyang, you're not going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, we're going to be peppering right around there, around the box and attacking third, and that one chance comes on. I want Aubameyang to finish, even if he does not much else. In terms of just finishing, because these are the games where we just miss so many chances, and then we get one goal and then relax, and then we end up copying one goal, and that's how that story's been done. I've seen that movie heaps of times. So
yeah.
I prefer Aubameyang.
What happened to Mendy? That's just. Is there anything on Mendy? He's not even on the bench.
I'm not sure why, and his feet. Yeah, he's not even on the bench really. That's surprising. Maybe
Didn't he go to World Cup a little bit injured or something?
No, I think he finished the World Cup.
I know, but I thought he played a little bit injured.
No, I don't think so. He came back fit too, and he's been training. I think maybe it has to do with his mindset. I don't know. But
maybe
again, we'll get to that. Let me try and catch up with the chat, and then I'll come to again Hakeem CFC to get his thoughts on the lineup. Here's CFC OG's the link to his YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Let him know I sent you. Must-win match. It's a must-win. Again, every game is a must-win. But if we start well after again the World Cup break, it would do us again a world of good. But if we lose this game or perform badly, it will be that again. It will be very bad because we still have to play Man City twice.
It's not just about winning. It's not just about winning. This guy had nearly a month to work on some sort of tactic. So I really want to see what he's been doing.
I know you don't like the man, really. If Pulisic doesn't play well first half, then Hutchinson should replace him at halftime. To me, again, how badly Raheem Sterling have played of late, even again at the World Cup, he didn't do that well. Maybe you could argue it was because of again what happened to him at his home. Maybe that affected his mindset to start Omari Hutchinson over him. But again, I knew Potter was going to go for experience, and that we're seeing that now. Hopefully, he performs because I believe he can actually do better than he's done for us. And again, I knew him as a good dribbler, but I never knew he'd attempt 100 dribbles and miss again and not complete 101 of them. That was unbelievable for me. This is a Pulisic's opportunity now. It has always been. Whenever he starts, it has always been his opportunity. Let's see what happens. The lineup was just released. I really want a clean sheet. Yeah, I hope that happens. For me now, again, I've stuck my by him. But if Havertz doesn't push in the second half of season now and score more goals, he will be sold in the summer. I don't think they'd sell him. It looks like Potter likes him also. Plus, it's not a number 9. I know it's a fluid approach if you ask me. But again, there's an argument that he hasn't been played consistently at a particular position, so he gets to master that role. Because we forgot how we do. It looks like it's easy. We easily forget how young these players are. They're still actually developing. And I've said this before. As much as versatility makes a player a good tool in the hands of the manager, it can be detrimental to that player's development. Yeah, go ahead.
They're both developing with their manager, so Jesus, we can develop faster.
So that works.
Hey, Rodriguez. I was going to ask you, do you think this lineup is trying to do a 4-4-3?
Oh yeah,
that's what Potter's been working on. Just the closest thing to a 4-3-3.
No, I don't think
Sorry,
so.
a 4-4-3. Look at it. You got 4, and you got 4 in the middle, and he couldn't get the rest, but he's trying. This is the best he can do.
It's trying.
I think this is the PowerPoint presentation to Bowley and Bali and the consortium. He said, I tried.
Oh,
This is the best thing I can get, closest thing I can get 4-4-3. The only thing I'm missing here, Havertz might be Ronaldo soon.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get what they want.
Ronaldo isn't coming. You know he isn't gonna again reject.
This is
Saudi
what
money
Potter's
and
been
come here.
working in the month.
Pa-
Poor guy.
possibly, possibly. I think this is the most he's done anything differently. In the 4-2-3-1. I think the other one. I think he split four. He's tried 4-3-3 also. Yeah. But let's see again. Best
I mean,
11.
I think
I've
it's
seen Potter
Coach. I
beat
think it's
Afro-
easier to say what hasn't Potter tried, and then like we're
And
easier to work from there.
Yeah, like Roger would say, Potter is predictably unpredictable and sometimes crazy. Clyde, you sound like you don't trust him to achieve anything at Chelsea.
It's probably funny now, but there is. I've had that. You've seen me. I had arguments before,
Mhm.
and I haven't been on much too. But people for some reason have a blind faith in someone that hasn't done it before. Like in the whole time I've followed football, the probability chance for a manager that does well at the Brighton level
Mhm.
and then gets an opportunity at the elite level and fails is probably 80% of the time, maybe even
Mhm.
more.
Mhm.
There has been so many managers that have achieved more than Potter that have failed at this level, right? And they haven't been given all these luxuries. I feel like Potter's been given so much, right? His timing to come in has been bad, but I mean, um, to have this faith that we're going to commit a massive rebuild and we're going to move forward 3-4 seasons with Potter, that means we're only trusting him to build a team, not to win anything.
yeah.
Which makes
But
sense, really.
yes and no,
No,
because
no, I'm saying in the sense that again, if we pay attention to his history, I think the you can say the most that he's achieved is building it again. Building a team that you could say that plays as a unit. I think that's what he's capable of doing for us. Do I think he's capable of winning anything with us? I doubt it, but I hope he proves me wrong. But go ahead with what you're saying.
yeah, but why it's wrong now? Because I mean, you're talking about that means you need Silva, Koulibaly gone. Zachariah probably not in the picture as well. Aubameyang gone. Sterling, I'm not sure. By the time that happens, he might be old and he might not want to build around him. Kante, Jorginho. You're talking about a new team that hasn't happened yet. Just kind of what like Arteta did, right? He got all these young players that listen to him and play a certain way. And what's going to happen at Arsenal if Arteta doesn't win anything, right? If he bottles this season, and the team has potential, but Arteta can't get him over the line, they're going to sack Arteta, and they're going to get a manager that's ready to win trophies. So Arteta built the team, and then they're going to get a manager to once that's trophy ready team to go try win stuff till this team gets old enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do the same, right? It's pretty much the normal cycle that every club does, right? But Potter's come in at a time where we're not ready to throw half this team yet, unless that's happening. And some of the transfers we've done have been very mixed. Like they want the manager to build a team, but they also want to be semi-successful now. But so what are we going to get? So they're expecting Potter to do both. So I'm not like I think that this might be too much. But if it came to a time where Conte, Jorginho contracts finished, we didn't sign him. Silva had to move on; he's too old, and we didn't sign Koulibaly.
Mm-hmm.
And who else is left? And we didn't sign Aubameyang, and we weren't even signing in Nkuku as well. Kind of, we signed him, and He's at that age too. He's just a little outside the bracket, or about to be. And then we started from the very start with all these young players. Let Potter get something out of him, get a style of play, keep adding to it, and then watch it from season to season, strength to strength, like that. But how are you going to get that now from Potter?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think we're in again. It's going to be really painful. Again, I hope things again. I hope he survives.
Coach. Let me add this to you too.
Yeah.
If that's the plan, right? But if Potter keeps losing, just kind of the similar performances as we left off from before the World Cup, right? If it keeps going in the same manner, which means the problem is a little bit more different, right? Could be the dressing room and all that. With the fan pressure, does Bowley hold out? Do they actually come out and say, we're backing our man regardless of what, even if we're 10th, 12th, whatever, right? Do they come out and say that?
If we're being honest, Declan, that meeting that Potter himself talked about was just, again, to see if they can reduce the pressure on him, to see if that can help things, if they can help him, again, get him to turn things around. Like you said, if things continue in that direction, if we continue losing games, then let him go. I think, believe me, honestly, I know ego comes into play because they would want to prove to the fans we knew exactly what we're doing when we hired Potter. But that's how bad things will get that let him go, even if it's in a million years contract. Because if he keeps losing, it's bad business. Like Roger said the last time he was here, if we miss out at top 4, it's bad business. I know they know that quite already, but they're not going to come out open and say, we must make it to top 4. No, because that's putting pressure on him. And again, something else Roger said, if we miss top 4 this year, it will be difficult to get back in there because it's jam-packed up there. And all those guys that are up there has the money to strengthen in January. And if we miss out again next year, it becomes even more difficult.
Wait,
go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
Doesn't it become easier?
I don't think it becomes easier.
If we miss out on Europe,
yeah,
it becomes easier to make it into top 4 again.
No, here's what I'm saying from the perspective that those guys that are there, for instance, Newcastle, they're one of the big boys now. They have money. They will strengthen.
No, but
so they'll become
they're far off.
Believe me, again, if you ask me, I'd say again they're way ahead in their project. Really, how well they're doing. Yeah, so it becomes even. If you look at the top 4 now, see how many teams we'll have there. It's never going to be easy for us to get back in there, even if we're not in Europe.
Look then Newcastle, once they get the money flowing that they can spend, that team is becoming new. You're going to have a lot of names there, but it's going to take a while to gel.
It depends on how they approach it. If they're
I'm not worried.
If they're strategic, they're not going to have that problem you're thinking they're going to have. If they make drastic about it, then they'll have a lot of problems. I think they're being strategic, really.
They have a better.
No, it's just natural. It's going to be natural because you have too many players all in the one time taking well. And how well they adjust. And is Eddie Howe that type of manager too? That's going to come into question. I don't think he is. I think they'll go for a big name. And do they have what you're saying, like a technical director to give them that direction to put the puzzles piece by piece? I think it's going to be a learning curve. I think it will eventually happen, but I think it's going to happen. It's going to take 4 seasons.
All right. Quickly, let me catch up with the chat. I want to come to Hakeem, and then because this is the short show, we have less than actually around 22 minutes to finish. Quickly here, I got a feeling Mount going to be on the right and Pulisic in the middle. No, I don't see that happening. He's played this structure before, and Mount was central, while I think Gallagher was on the right hand side. I don't see him playing Pulisic in the 10th position, given that he's played this structure. Mount started in the middle and did quite well against Wolves on the day. He says again, bro, please, again, that's not me. I'm not making the selection. It's there. Like again, Timo. Nope. Again, Timo is only effective when there's space in behind the opposition defense for him to run in. I don't think you'd see that against Bournemouth. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they defend deep against us, and Timo wouldn't do well in this game. Timo's time, you cannot hit that guy. I get the argument. Maybe you guys aren't paying attention to, again, how he prefers to operate. How will Bournemouth challenge the Blues back line? If a Solanke, to me, yeah, no, I'm not really concerned about him. Again, the whole thing is how we're going to beat again, because they're going to defend it most likely. I'll be surprised if they do otherwise. Will this fluid front line work for us? I think it will work, but let's see how we can. It's 90 minutes. We get to find out how they do. Then Zakaria and George it together. Let's see how well they do. Nice to see you, Coach, and Blues. Nice to see you too, Lala. I hope you're doing well. Good luck today. Thank you. I appreciate that. I may be going crazy for some reason. I feel Havat he's going to have a good season. Is that what you're thinking? Second half, he's going to go crazy. Maybe that has always been his history, even when he was still was the German club. He only comes to comes alive during second half of the season, but that needs to change. We didn't pay that much money for him to start performing only second half of the season. It's absolute nonsense for me. Hakeem, coming to you quickly, your thoughts on the lineup. Would you have done anything differently? Because we haven't actually talked about the team's current form and also the insights to see if we can, that would give us anything. To me, this is more like looking at statistics and trying to figure out what the outcome of the game would be. But Hakeem, if you're there, your thoughts on the lineup, and would you have done anything differently?
I think I was among of the panel when we predicted the lineup yesterday, but I think we had it. Looking at what I'm seeing, I think we had it about 80% correct, if I'm right.
Maybe close, because we picked Zakaria. We didn't pick Mount, which I told you guys I see Mount starting. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we had it 80% right. I'm confident with this team. I don't think Bournemouth are anywhere threat to us, like in any shape or form. I think we are winning this game. Looking at this lineup, it's just that the players have to step up. The manager has cannot do anything more than what I'm seeing here because we lack a lot of players in certain positions. And as I heard, Chalobah is out of because of sickness, and also about my young man, he also lacking a little bit of fitness because there wasn't any competition for him, and we saw his performance versus Aston Villa. So I wouldn't do anything from this team. I think it's perfect the way it looks based on the players that we have today. Yeah, I'm very confident with this team. It's
given that again those guys are still on holiday and what we have on the bench, it's hard to do anything differently. I think this is the best we can actually do given what he has available to him. Just quickly, did I miss out on anything else? Anything new here? Bobby, again, a fair view. Nice to see you here, brother. I hope you had a very good Christmas. This was the lineup I was hoping for. Zakaria gives us good balance. Helps to shield the defense very well. Plus, that guy, he has good pace in him and can accelerate quickly. If you watch his highlight in the game he played against us, he did quite well in terms of protecting the defense. But that's by the way. Roger, how are you doing? I hope you're coping again with the loss of your mother very well. Again, we've been praying for you. I did talk about it on the panel here, and people in the chat. Again, lots of wishes from them. A lot of them saying they'd be praying for you. How are you doing, brother?
Thank you, everyone, so very much. It's never easy.
Yeah, I know.
But the circle of life, as they say.
Yeah. But, sorry to hear that again.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it coming from you and everyone else. Two things, if I may. One is don't give me grief for this, please. But is Mendy injured?
We're not sure.
If not, why is he not on the bench? Why is he not on the bench?
We're not sure,
that's
really.
My question. Okay. I like the lineup. I would have preferred to seen Hall instead of Cucurella. That's just my observation. I want to see more of Hall. I think this is a very good team. I'm still not confident with Sterling. Sorry, sir.
No, so you say Lewis Hall as a wing back. He's not really. He's a midfielder, to be fair.
Yeah, no. I understand that was his initial, but I still think, based on what the little I've seen of him, I would have liked to have seen more of him. But I get it. I really do. I think this is quite strong, actually. I'm really glad to see James back. That's a huge plus. And also on our number one goalkeeper. I think this is a really strong team. I want to see Pulisic. I'm so glad he's starting. So because he looked quite good in the World Cup, to put it mildly. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but was deployed differently.
No, of course. There's checkmate, no argument there, totally. I mean, it's the equivalent of putting, Mendy as a striker. Yeah, I get it. This is a good team. Expectations, we should win on paper, but the game is not played on paper.
They've been a bogey team for us, really, for paying attention.
Is this going to be a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1? I think a 4-2-3-1.
We're not sure.
Right?
If you're in the chat and you have the fifth sign up, can you check the formation again? They have there. I don't know if the Declan was serious when he was saying probably more like a 4-3-3. I don't think it makes sense.
No, Declan was saying
No, I said 4-4-3.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
welcome,
Oh,
Roger.
you're joking with the orders.
I missed that.
I can't remember that. Yeah, 11 players outfield
Yeah,
again.
so Potter's going to be near the touchline on the right, just to make the extra player.
I was hoping for a 4-5-5 myself,
Again, Roger, quickly, again, would you have done anything differently in the attacking area, given that Aubameyang is available? I think the club argued that he would have, again, started Aubameyang.
No. Listen, this is purely 100% subjective, especially considering the fact that we don't get to see them day in, day out play or train in Cobham. From what I've seen thus far, I believe that he's not the player he was. Maybe given time and more minutes, that's possible. But from what I've seen,
you could argue the same for Mount if we're talking about form.
But he's industrious and
that's what. And that's you could say
he's the engine in the car, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The other thing is, can I quickly just say one thing very briefly? We're talking about making top four and so forth. What no one has mentioned is, at least since I joined the show, I apologize for joining late, gentlemen and ladies.
No worries. Go ahead.
It is the fact that you haven't included the fact that there's a possibility of another either government or an amalgamation of very rich, wealthy individuals purchasing another team and making it even more harder for us to make top four. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight, I understand, but someone could buy Forest, for instance, and they could plow in a couple of billion. Then what are we going to do? So it's going to get harder each and every time.
I thought that already happened, Roger, didn't it?
No, he's saying that it could happen even more.
It's going to get harder, sir. That's my point. If you told me 5 years ago that we'd be where we are with City and Newcastle, etc., I know
what you're saying, Roger.
Anyway, yeah, you get it.
You're talking about we're going to join the Super League. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, no. Bite your
tongue,
tongue,
sir. Honest, we're going to
give me 20.
Definitely doing that, Declan. Super League.
Hey, Coach, I was going to ask, right?
Yeah.
Because Roger wanted to know what's happening at training, and since you're there, can you give us like a good insight what's happening at the warm up and the training?
The clerk's back with a bang. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna keep cracking jokes with Coach there, because if you're gonna put your background at Stamford Bridge, you're gonna have to live it. Yeah, you're gonna have to play it. You're gonna play like you're there.
I haven't laughed in a long time. Thank you, brother. That means a lot. Thank you. Yeah,
I found it difficult to laugh because I knew
actually,
that.
I haven't been. I missed coming on streams, and especially this one too. It's been a bit hard to jump on, but today works out right before the game. I was waking up for the game anyway.
Yeah,
but
just quickly,
it's holidays as well.
Yeah, let's get Ty's opinion. I want us to look at the insight. To see, to me, usually when I predict games, the insights can be very helpful. And in most cases, believe me, you'll be right if you pay attention. Now, we'll look at the insight and the team's current form. We'll do that in a bit. But before we do that, let me catch up again the little we have in the chat. Here's again, Mikhail, enjoying the show and laughing. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show, Mikhail. I hope you're doing well. I am with Declan. Yeah, you will always support Declan. If you go against whatever he said, I'd be surprised. I'll ask you for your ID. And these know-it-alls and their big data sell job. Again, the data aspect isn't going to change. I think that's who they are. But one thing I want to say that Declan talked about briefly, again, is that the truth, I'm fearing that I think we'll be part of the next set of clubs that will be pushing for the Super League. Really,
Yeah.
if that doesn't happen, I'll be surprised because the way they're talking, it's all about money, 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 money. Which to me, again, I have nothing against, because it's business and they spend that much money to buy the club. They want profit, even though yeah, some say yeah, but they're not going to take profit until after 10 years. But now is the time to plan for a big profit if you're paying attention.
Well,
You
coach,
got
some people forget that there's a whole consortium as well that
yeah,
has an
exactly.
input. So
Yeah,
some people forget about that.
yeah. So that shows again quite a lot will change. Ty, quickly, I know you haven't spoken. You've seen the lineup again. Once you're done, we'll look at the insight and the team's recent form. Would you have done anything different, and more especially, are you concerned about the structure? That is, if this is really the structure, and like I've asked, if you're using the Fish Stand app, please do check what formation, what structure you're looking at there. This one says it's 4-2-3-1. I like this one so much. I don't know because probably I enjoyed the game against what's the name against Wolves. You could say that has so far been the best game under him. So, Ty, your thoughts on the structure? Would
Is
you
it
have done
just
anything
me
differently?
or
Ty,
Yeah, I
are you
agree with
there?
Ty.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
we
we
can
can.
hear, but barely, really.
Oh, are you hearing me better?
Yeah, we can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yesterday when I joined, it was yesterday.
Yeah, I think you did yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying that I think Sterling and Pulisic was going to start, and although it's not something I was really hoping of, or I was really hoping to see that happen. It's something that I was expecting to happen because I
Hmm.
think in terms of the players that we have available, we would be forced to utilize Pulisic, and I think Sterling is a player that Potter sees something in and believes that he can effectively do what he wants him to do. So I think that was normal. I I don't really think that there's much we could have done differently unless you
Hmm.
say give Hall a start as that left wing back or left back or whatever you want to
Hmm.
call it or structure it as. I don't really think there's much of a choice. I think the back line is something that we expected. And Kepa being in goal, for me at least, I like that because I think he was doing quite well before he picked up that injury, and when he's playing, it's not the same. It's been different with him because he's been able to at least pass the ball and not be too chaotic with it. So that was
Hmm.
always a positive. So I'm happy that he's playing again because he was in good form before that injury. Mason Mount is something that because I didn't know what's going to happen. I didn't know about how his fitness was. I wasn't sure if he was going to start, but if he's starting, that is good news because I think in terms of what Potter is trying to do, Mason Mount would be very important, especially in that central role
Hmm.
behind Havertz, if that isn't indeed the way they'll be lining up. I like the lineup. I am just hoping that it's not only good on paper and that we're able to do something good in the game and hopefully, like he was saying not long ago in pre-match about he's not proud of the performances that we had before the World Cup. I'm hoping that he kept his promise of actually drilling um some good instructions into these players so that we don't really see some mediocre performance that we've been seeing before the World Cup. So I'm hoping that it will be a good game, and I'm hoping we can win the game.
Yeah. Again, I hope we can win it. At least win this one and win Nottingham Forest, Man City. Let's see what happens there. I'm concerned really. It's going to be again. We have a difficult line of games as again lined up. Even after that, we still have Liverpool coming up soon. I'm not sure what date in particular, but let's look at again head. Let's look at again the teams form head to head. Okay, 4 wins for them, 8 wins for us, and 1 draw. But of recent, I think they've been the bogey team for us. Okay, the team form here. We lost 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row.
Come
They
on,
lost
coach, you have
one.
to remind us.
No, that's the reason we're looking at it. I just again, I'm starting with you really quickly. They lost one, but they won 2 in a row before that one. They lost. They lost again. You can say these are all they've been scoring really against Leeds United. They lost again 3-4. Wow. Tottenham beat them 3-2 at home. They've been scoring again. You can say they've been scoring more goals than us actually. But that's, by the way. Let's look at the inside here. This one is what I pay attention to very well. Again, we're ranked 13 in goals scored per match, 1.2 goals per match, and they're ranked 12th in goals scored. That means they're scoring more goals than us. Like that again. Recent form shows we haven't scored. We haven't scored in our last 4 matches. Have considered the most penalties this season. That's it. That doesn't match the other one, but that's okay. We haven't scored in 2 home games. Haven't won an away game in the last 5 games. To me, this again, I get it. They've done quite better than us again, given recent form. But these stats here shows on paper really we're supposed to win this one. Rodrigo, your thoughts?
Yeah, usually whenever I see teams that haven't won in God knows how long, haven't scored God knows how long, usually they turn their form around when we come to town. And like what the Claire said, this is Christmas time, Stamford giving. So I can see us gifting them maybe a point or all 3, depending on how generous.
Yeah, it's Christmas, man. Why would we give him a point? You're gonna give him...
let's give him 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, hey Rodrigo, I'd rather give him 3 points than 1. If we're gonna give him 1, might as well just give him 3. Because it still feels like it's still a loss.
Yeah,
a draw is still a loss to us.
Gentlemen,
yeah,
gentlemen, 'tis the season.
Go on.
It's the Christmas season indeed.
Yeah. I see Tony Pulis comment. He's one of the pundits for this game. He's on a pitch. So I thought maybe it's a cheeky bid for Tony Pulis to steady the ship for us until the summer. But nah, I'll be more. I want to see what exactly they've been working on for the past month, and I'm really excited with the lineup. I don't know. I feel like it's a good lineup. So hopefully it's a back.
But did you like it when I put it the way I put it?
No.
Hey, see, because Mikhail brought it up too. Yeah, hey, it's not in the realm of like craziness. That is a good chance that it happens. What he liked was having that Cucurella Sterling mix up and something that he did at Brighton. He could have the opposite side with Reece James and Pulisic. Pulisic is the only besides Ziyech, but he's not there. He's the closest thing to a winger that he needs to go out wide, and that's what he might want with Reece James in that. It's the 2 people that are going to work together there, because like I said, the 4 people that I mentioned aren't moving. So if you really want to work it out, like I said, Zachariah's not moving, Jorginho's not moving, Koulibaly, Silva, and Kepa, right? Yeah. And if you can look at and you look at everyone else, right, and you can take them off the board.
I disagree with that.
You can.
Really moves. Like when he can, he does move with the ball. I watched him versus Ghana, and he was moving a lot.
It's not what I meant.
That's his national team. I think
the
application is different here, really. But go ahead,
Declan. I'm not dissing any player that they can't move. Their role is not to move. The guy's role is a DM, and when he even played, right, he's not box to box anything. He sits in a position and he does his job. Jorginho too. There's not dissing the players. That's their role. And those 4 people are given a role where they're going to be pretty stationary and everyone else is moving. So you can take everyone else off the board and then you can piece it together how it's going to play. Because when you watch the game soon, you're going to see those 4 players are going to be in their position like they are now. And then when we're in the attacking half, they're going to be at the halfway, right? And maybe one of them, not Jorginho, Zachariah will be a bit more higher.
Now, here's the thing, Declan, quickly. I think a lot, again, we'll see a lot again. I don't see Zachariah moving too much. I think you already said that. None of them can fulfill the Kovacic role, the hybrid of 8 and 6. I don't think Zachariah is capable of fulfilling it. Maybe not as well as Kovacic does. So probably, if anything,
I think Mount is doing that.
The Kovacic role.
I think Conor Gallagher can also play that role.
Yeah.
If you can't, the clear thing you cannot say is the Kovacic role if he's playing. This is a 10, really, where he's positioned, really, except if this is not the structure. The Kovacic role, he starts from deep, but yet he operates as an 8.
Yeah, so where I think Mount is going to be utilized, and this is where his strength comes to the play, which is his hard-working thing, where when we're in our defensive half, and Mount is the one to drop deep with Zachariah and Jorginho, right? And especially if Reece James or Cucurella or anyone's pretty high up, Mount is the guy to drop in, right? When he's in those positions, he's also the man to drive it up, kind of like Kovacic, but not as well. But in the attacking half, he's the guy that's going to join the attack as well. I think he's going to do a lot of running, maybe one of the most running. I think Havertz will try help with that too. But he's probably the person that's going to put in the most running and maybe come off for Gallagher to continue the same intensity in the same role. That's the role he might play there.
And just quickly, Declan, while I'm still with you, if you don't, again, we have a few minutes around up. There's something else I want to ask you. And here's Mikel again saying the same thing you said, and I think you recognize that too. Again, for you, the insight here and the team's recent form, again, does that mean anything to you, or you usually don't pay attention to it?
It's a big difference now because of the gap, right? Because if it was just when we left the World Cup, it's a big deal. What in the form we were in, we didn't look like we win games. And Potter got a good break, some luck. There's a World Cup. He can sit, evaluate, get Reece James back, get some players back that were missing, and really look at all the problems that he have and try to work out a solution. He had a month to do it, right? The only issue is that he didn't have some of the players available, right, that he might needed. But he has to turn it around. He's been given it some breathing room. So that form doesn't come into play because of how long it's been, right? And some of the problems that we had back then don't count now with players. So there's a big difference. There's a big asterisk there because of the gap. So now players are fresh. The other thing is that there's a little advantage with playing Sterling and Havertz because they didn't go far in the World Cup, but they did have some good competition games. Bournemouth might be lacking that toughness from the EPL for a month. Maybe they might get a little soft, but they are going to be fresh, right? So they might be soft.
Than us, actually.
Yeah, so they're going to be soft, maybe with tackling and how hard you go in, but in terms of the game going longer, they're going to be very fresh. So there is some positives and negatives to that. So we'll see how it plays out, but that's the difference because if this was the game after the games that you just saw, then you can take into account. There's a lot more factors into this game now.
Yeah, just quickly again, Roger, to you. You're not going to be happy because you didn't get to speak for your client, Potter. But probably maybe you've given up on representing him. But I want to ask you quickly, the insights we looked at, again, does that mean anything to you? You think it's irrelevant? But Declan made perfect sense because there's a chance we've solved some of the issues we had before, again, the World Cup break. But to me, I still, again, I value this quite a lot. That's how maybe my predictions, again, they're not the best, but again, not the worst, really. But go ahead, your thoughts.
I agree with De Klerk also to a certain extent. Saying that
everybody agrees with De Klerk.
Yeah, saying that he's lucky to have a break is, I think, a little bit misleading because he was unlucky.
Okay, now you're representing your client. Go ahead.
Because he was quite unlucky to have so many injuries also. So you could look at it both ways in some regards. Yes, he is fortuitous that there is indeed a World Cup. But having said that, had he had a full squad in the first place, we may not be saying that.
Okay. So
wait, doesn't that make him lucky?
How about the insight? We have just 1 minute left. How about the insight? The insight does that?
I think we can throw that out the window because. No, we can throw that out the window with all due respect because of the fact that, listen, he's building a new team. He's going to be using, it's going to be different. This is a new coach, a new manager, however you want to term him. So the previous record, he has nothing to do with that whatsoever. And there is quite a few new players here also. So, if we keep the same team like in the old days and you were only allowed to start players based on your actual training ground, so to speak, then yes, when it was free.
All right. I think with that, again,
that's not
we've come to the end of the show because the game starts in about less than a minute, actually. The poll which asked, what do you think the outcome will be? 0-0 draw 0%, 1-1 draw 25%, a 2-0 Chelsea win 75%, A Bournemouth win 0%. So let's see what happens again. Sorry, we don't have much time again. And I hope to see you guys soon. We'll be doing a watch along on the other channel. If you have time, please do join us
Enjoy the
there.
game.
Declan, thank you so much for finding the time to join today, Declan. I appreciate that. Roger, the same. I'll talk to you later, Ty. Thank you, guys. See you guys later, and bye.
Always a
Pick up,
pleasure.
everyone.